So yeah, I'm gonna post videos of how I'm going to, most of my videos titles would be like day one of getting into a disciplined lifestyle habit and stuff like that. And who am I to tell you all this? Because I've gone through my self improvement journey too. There was a time I was in a very, a rat hole sort of a thing. I was really bad, to say it to you in one word. And so, self improvement does not only mean to gain muscles and, go to the gym and looking good, looking handsome, going through your looks maxing journey, stuff like that. Yeah, that is a part of self improvement. It's about more like taking care of yourself and stuff like that. But apart from that, I feel mentally we as men, we as guys have been desensitized a lot. Not only guys, women too. But mostly guys. Trust me. What I'm trying to say is, let's just take an example. Today I'm going to talk about something really, really important. I just started off by telling you about how I have an exam and why am I even fucking recording this video, because I'm taking a break and I don't want to procrastinate. I don't want to end up doing useless stuff in my break. So I'd rather, you know, make some productive thing that is going to help the younger generation. So yeah, let's talk about this. How our brain has been desensitized. Like, trust me, your brain is very, like, your brain has been desensitized a long time ago. At least my one has been. Immense, like intense social media exposure and porn exposure, watching pornography. You don't even get the same amount of high. You don't even like. Trust me, guys. Watch a porn right now. Trust me. If you have been watching porn for a very, very long time, and you have like elevated your levels from like the softcore porn to medium porn to hardcore porn to weird fetishes to animated hentai and 3D taboo porn, like with what I'm talking about, right? Your sensitivity has been decreased to porn. Now you can just watch porn while eating. Yeah, you can watch porn whenever you want, and you won't get the rush of blood or the butterflies in the stomach kind of a feeling anymore. It's not new to you. You won't get hard anymore. So I'll tell you. What happened was, I guess, like most of you guys who are on self improvement, stuff like that, you'll probably, like, you probably would have been watching porn, something like that, and then you would have left watching that for a couple of time. You would have probably gone through and taken Hamza's advice of you know porn is bad and this and that, and then you associated porn with a lot of negativity and bad things, which is good, which helped you leave porn and stay on no fap and stuff like that, and everything is fine and all. But try and go back to porn for once, okay, and see a video. Most probably you won't get aroused. Your dick won't stand. But your dick will work perfectly if you're with your girlfriend or you're thinking about or imagining about stuff doing with your girlfriend, or if you're in a healthy relationship or something like that. But your dick won't work while watching a porn scene or something that you actually enjoyed. Because your brain has been desensitized, and maybe if it could stand watching that porn video, it wouldn't, because now your brain has already been infected by the thoughts of, oh my god, you're not supposed to watch porn because it is bad habit. Of course it is bad habit, no doubt about it. You weren't supposed to watch porn in the first place. But think about it. Why aren't you getting hard by watching something so erotic, watching something really grows. And imagine this, why wouldn't you get hard watching something that used to make you hard once? This is called desensitization of the brain, and it not only stems from watching porn, but it also stems from constant media exposure and not having a very boring or disciplined lifestyle. I'll have to turn on the air conditioner for once. Yeah, and also turn up the fan a little bit, I guess. There might be a lot of noise. Pardon me for that, I'll just switch it off in a bit. So, what I'm trying to say is, our brain has been desensitized. I took porn for just an example, okay? Porn is like not really important. If your dick is working alright with your girlfriend and everything is fine, really doesn't matter. But well, I'll come to that later on. What I'm trying to say is, desensitivity. Oh, I'm sorry. Desensitivity of your brain happens because your brain's reward system has been used up so much that you need to give it something really, really new and novel to give you a good sort of a reward. Or you'll just end up watching the same stuff over and over, like scrolling reels or going on Instagram, scrolling for some time and stuff like that. See, your goal should not be to leave Instagram or to completely stop scrolling on Instagram, not watch whatever thing comes up on your feed and stuff like that. What your goal should be is to it's a mentality. Okay, this isn't. I don't think anyone has said this to you before on YouTube, but it's true. So what I'm trying to say is, your goal should be, or not goal, but at least consciously make the effort to. Let me give you some examples. What do you want as a man? You want high testosterone as a man. You want to work fine. Your body should be balanced and everything. Let me tell you something. Watching social media and getting distracted on YouTube, scrolling through reels, scrolling through plenty of videos, watching porn, it's just tip of the iceberg, honestly speaking. The real, if all this is tip of the iceberg, then what is the real cause? The real cause is not being disciplined, but no, it's not that easy. It's pretty complicated. We as human beings have been so much stimulated for a very long time that we don't really understand the concept of getting stimulated or rewarded. Like, think about this. If I ask you to not use your phone or app, or just cut out from social media and use a button phone, okay, a manual phone or something, and live your own life, just live your fucking own life, go through your day and stuff like that, and talk to people, talk to your friends who use social media, who are up to date with all the stuff happening, and ask them about it. You don't need to get the news yourself, you can ask them about it, right? You can ask them what's going on. It sounds weird, right? Like, you can talk to people about what is going on social media, because they watch social media all day. They'll tell you about what's going on, so you can keep up to date. You can get the news, you can get the dopamine by listening and talking to the other person instead of scrolling through Instagram yourself and getting distracted, right? This way your communication skills will also be put to use. Then secondly, what you could do is, what could you do? We as humans have been so much stimulated by social media and technology and everything that we're so used to getting stuff at our fingertips. We can't just wait, we can't just relax. What I recommend you to do is just turn off all the lights, in your room and just stare at a wall. Or if it's daytime, just stare at your wall. You don't have to look at your phone. Set up a timer on your phone, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever, and look at the wall. Think about, sort out your thoughts, whatever is going on in your head and everything. You can even increase this time up to 2 hours. And there will be a lot of things going on inside your head which you can see, which you can imagine, which you can feel. This way you get your sensitivity back, like you actually enjoy doing the boring stuff. Staring at a wall without doing anything. Isn't it doing something? You really don't need to do anything. Why do you need to? Why do you think that you need to do stuff in the first place? You really don't. Reading a book. Reading a book that you don't like or maybe find it very boring, just try to read it for an hour. Do most of the boring shit. Wait for your parents to come back home so you can leave and play games or something like that. Or wait for your parents to come back home so that you can have piece of the cake that you have been waiting for. Live a very boring, simple life. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about very like ancient sort of a life when there was no technology and stuff like that. But I'm talking about life like it was when I was a kid, like in our childhood. Obviously, my childhood went through a transition time because my childhood had the mixture of not having technology and at the same time having a lot of technology. I'm 20 years old and there was a time where we didn't have that much of technology, we didn't have that much of internet exposure. But when it started happening, when the internet exposure started coming in, we were exposed to it really a lot. Everything. Yes, porn, music, everything. Music videos, stuff like that, everything. So it's okay. You can't really take it out of your life. It is part of the world right now. And what you can do is try and work in desensitizing your brain. If you desensitize your brain's neural pattern and plasticity will change. I've been studying anatomy and physiology a lot, so I know there's something called neural plasticity, spasticity, and everything changes. How your brain works. It takes time. It'll take you around like months, probably 4, 5, 6 months. If you want to watch porn, watch it, but don't touch yourself. Make sure that you watch porn. Maybe I'm not encouraging you to watch porn, but what I would do is, or what you can do to try out is, say if you have this problem that if you are watching a porn video and you can't get hard just by watching it, you're not skipping to the main part. Don't make sure you're not skipping. Watch through the entire video, watch the story and everything, and you can't get hard like that, which means that your optically stimulation has been reduced in your neuroplasticity or whatever. Like, you can look at your girlfriend and get super hard. That is possible. But you can't watch this porn video which would make you hard if it was 2-3 years back. So this is the thing. I want you to go back and get your sensitivity back. So if you get your sensitivity back, imagine how good your life would be right now. It's like going back in time and eliminating all the root cause of your bad habits, like ever stopping the exposure of porn in your life, and stopping the exposure of social media or mindlessly scrolling for so many hours, or start going to the gym when you were 17, 16 years old. Whatever. What I mean to say is, you can reverse your desensitized brain and sensitize it again by following this method. Watch at a wall, like look at a wall. Sometimes do nothing. In an entire day, do nothing. You don't need to go through social media and stuff. You can just be without Like, you don't have to be productive. You don't have to do work. You can just waste a day without watching social media. Can't you do that much? Just go out, do whatever, man. Just don't watch social media. Don't get stimulated by this artificial world that we humans have created. And eventually, slowly, you'll start seeing that you find joy in the boring stuff. And the day you find joy in the boring stuff is the day you start realizing that, yeah, slowly you're sensitizing your brain back. Your plasticity is changing inside your cerebrum, inside your brain or whatever. Your neural pathways are changing, and your reward system is changing. And eventually, what happens is you start keeping promises to yourself. You start being hard. You start being hard on yourself and start taking cold showers. And just you keep promises. If you decide to study this chapter and do this and do that, if you have the mental fortitude to sit in front of a wall for 2 to 3 hours and just be without doing anything, eventually it kind of adds up. I believe testosterone is not increased just by taking supplements or getting good sleep or whatnot. I honestly believe that testosterone is increased when you keep promises to yourself, when you do hard work, when you give a lot of efforts into doing something. That is when the real testosterone increases. That is when your brain feels the need of feels the joy of accomplishing something. Then you'll be like, let's just get the work done. I mean, if I've decided to complete this chapter, I'm gonna get this chapter completed today, at least to this much, and I'm gonna keep this promise to myself, and then I'm gonna go to bed. This way, you keep adding testosterone. This way, you keep, ticking off the promises that you made to yourself. And I honestly feel, apart from anything in this entire world, if you do something when you're not feeling like doing it, if you're doing the hard work when you don't feel like doing it, that is when your real testosterone increases, not when you're sleeping optimally or when you're lifting weights. Life is not always about making muscles and lifting weights, bro. So yeah, that was it for today, and I'll keep you guys updated on my day 1, day 2, day 3 of building a disciplined life. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.